2, 3, fire!
Knights, Vikings, Samurai, Woolen, Outlander, 4. I don't know. But yeah.
Welcome back, Warriors. We're so excited.
So we got gameplay
to,
for the
with us
Ocelotl.
this
This is the
here.
moment
We learned
everybody
a
was
ton
waiting
about the
for, to
Ocelotl,
see how,
their background, their history,
well, the
their
second
art direction,
moment
but now it's
everybody was
time
waiting for,
to get into the
the
nitty-gritty with
gameplay and the
and
moveset.
who better to do
We got to
that
see
than
what the
person
armor
joining me on
look
the couch
like, we got to
today,
see what the
our Lord
weapons
and
look
Savior,
like,
JC.
and
Welcome
now we're
back
going to
to
be
the show.
seeing what the gameplay
I'm
is
really happy to
like.
be here. I was reading the Twitch chat before.
Yeah.
I'm finally here. I know people were
Yeah, I know.
calling out for me. I'm finally.
They were worried. They were like,
ritual and everything.
I did, yeah. Yeah, just so you know, that works in the office, too.
Of course.
You mentioned
Of
JC
course.
a couple
Every-
times. You'll just
this
show up at
happens
FS
every
and it works
single
great.
time.
So, good job, chat.
Every single
We saw
time
you
when
out there.
JC comes
But also
on,
joining us
he
today,
always has
on
mic
the couch
problems.
For the very first time, we have Daniel and Jimmy, who are from the
This guy can't
animation
catch a
team,
break.
here to talk about all the
JC
animation
can't
stuff.
catch a
Y'all
break,
wanna
dude.
say
I
hi to the
feel
chat,
so
to the
bad for
lovely
them.
people at home?
Yeah, hello. I'm super happy to be here with all of you. Warriors 10 is my first one. And yeah.
Dude, we're getting a lot of new
People like
people,
the
man.
animation, for this hero.
Yeah, and hello. Nowadays they call me the cooler Daniel.
Oh.
But usually I go by the name Jimmy. So nice to meet you
This
all.
guy.
First Warriors Den as well. Very happy to be
One of
here.
the shades.
I love it. Awesome. So that's
Can we
great.
get
And I also
2
see
fly
that, YouTube
or MV
maybe
cool or
brought
2
a little
fresh? Can we get
something,
him to
yes,
show him
right.
Not a gift.
which cool guy shows
We
up the
got,
shades?
we got our mocap
Hey!
weapons ready to fight it off in the studio, but no.
Yeah,
not really.
no. Only one animator. So
You gotta hold it up for the camera. So
Yeah,
right,
hold it
yeah,
up for the
like,
camera.
you gotta see. There you go. Yeah. So this is always fun because again, Daniel, Jimmy, 2 of the lead animators.
I remember when they did that for the
working
Magi.
on Ocelotl, and
It was
these
a
are
big
the
one.
these are the actual mocap props, right?
Yeah,
we
that's
use
right.
in the studio for these. These things are huge, so you get a really good sense of scale. Do you want to maybe tell us a bit what it was like working with these?
well, what I can say is the first day, even not the first day of the mocap shoot, during the rehearsal, just we broke it.
Yeah, I
And
remember.
the actor just broke it, and
Cheap
then we
pops.
had to say, "Oh my God, what we are doing!" So we had to come up with a solution for it, and then yeah, it was a little fun fact. About
We made it work. We made it
We
work.
made it work,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I think you can see it there.
Was the solution more duct tape?
Always.
Now you can see it everywhere.
Always
Like
work.
that's
Always
the best solution ever.
Always
So,
more tape,
yeah.
they'll be fine. Yeah.
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 Awesome. All right. Well, I think that's great. So yeah, thank you for showing that off. I always think it's really cool to get a little, to see some of that behind the scenes stuff of, that. So thanks for bringing those cool props
For
on.
sure.
But I think now we're going to get a chance to maybe pass it over to JC and take a
Yeah.
look at the character in game as well. So
Yes. Well, first we'll talk a little bit about what kind of our pillars
Oh
versus
yeah,
hero
yeah,
and
of
stuff,
course,
right? So
of course.
when we, as most of you have watched Warriors and before and kind of heard me talk about these things, whenever we design a hero, we're trying to go with what our pillars are going to be gameplay-wise, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so this being like a hunter, a stalker, like character that kind of does that, but also somebody that we find is like very aggressive and efficient, right? So once you get in, you're efficient, you're aggressive. So that's kind of like what we were going for. So that's kind of, we'll see that reflected in the gameplay. That's kind of interesting.
Nice.
But at the same time, what we want to make sure is that like sometimes we make heroes, we don't want to do something that's completely 100% different from everything, because then it makes it too difficult to kind of understand, right? So if we kind of can compare two heroes slow a little bit to other heroes, this hero, as you will see, has an infinite chain. And
Another
it's kind of
infinite
like
chain.
what we did with Shaolin, where you have to alternate, buttons, but a little bit cranked up.
Just to the end.
Just a little bit cranked up. That's gonna be
Yeah.
it's gonna be really interesting, and then we can talk to these wonderful people about animation as well as we go
Yes.
through it. So let's get started.
Oh man, it's gonna be exciting.
So first of all, yeah. You
Oh,
can see
sweet.
the walk
Gameplay.
there looks really cool. All that cool stuff. Sprinting looks great. Get back over there. So that looks pretty nice. So we're gonna do like a little emo here, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So first of all, we're gonna do a free roaming emo. This
Oh,
death whistle.
Straight off the bat.
Just
Right.
carry it on you at all times.
Let me do it again so we can have a better view of it.
Oh, was you doing the
There
death
we
whistle?
go.
Amazing.
This is really, really cool. Honestly, it's super scary.
It sounds great too. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So let's.
I kinda
look
wish
at
it was
the rest
louder.
of this hero's attack because it's kind of interesting.
Yes.
So as I was mentioning,
Hey, at least they added a
kind of
death
an
whistle.
interesting
That's,
but it's a little bit different
That's awesome.
this time, right? Because normally when we have like something like Shaolin, you can do like light to heavy, light to heavy, light to heavy. But that's kind of cool. But then we went, how do we take this a step further, right? And so what we came up with is every single option that you typically have.
Dude, I'm not
So
gonna lie,
light,
the
heavy,
armor
zone,
variation
and
on the
bash
on the green
work
one looks
everywhere.
awesome, dude.
I can do light, but I can do
Armor
light
set, not
into
armor
a bash.
variation. Sorry.
I can do light into heavy, into a zone, into a bash, into all sorts of crazy things.
Oh
right?
gosh.
So the rules for chaining for this hero is every time you do the same button or so the same type of action twice in a row. Right? So if you do light, light, heavy, heavy, bash, bash, zone, zone, you go into a finisher. That's where you stop. The finishers typically are like a little bit stronger. They have like better stuff, so that's kind of interesting. And you can alternate them constantly. And each option that you have has different options. Like they have different properties and where we can go. So it's kind of like pushing some of the stuff we have a little bit more to the extreme and going into that, right? And so what's also interesting is that we really built this hero to be every single light attack is using the spear, and every single heavy attack uses the club. When we zone, sometimes it uses the club, sometimes like you see the finisher uses both at the same time.
Makes sense. That's why everybody was saying that light attacks will work for the spear and the heavy attacks will work for the
It's the
Maquito.
first time we have a hero that has two really, really distinct weapons, like real weapons, not like a shield and whatever. We have some characters that have like some hero like Peacekeeper that has like a dagger and a sword, but they're kind of similar and they're not used in the same way. So what kind of challenges do you guys face when we're working on this?
Don't forget about Pirate. She has a flintlock pistol and a cutlass.
A very direct way to
Then we got Shaman,
heavy's
you know,
always
an
gonna be the
axe,
club
a
and
tomahawk,
light's
and a
always gonna be the
dagger.
spear. So in a way, it focused a
And
lot of
who
our
else am I
animation
missing that
work.
has different
We
other
were able
weapons?
to immediately discern and immediately make clear the animation we're going to be light with the spear and all that. So that was good.
Another thing is that with the spear,
Crap, I'm missing the character who has another set of weapons. No, I forgot, no! Damn it, I forgot who was the other weapon.
Club went more for the heaviness feeling, the body weight feeling, that power. And then if we talk about the chain, we went and took advantage of that inertia that the character was having, that momentum he was having, and we made a decision like, are we making
that's about it. I
spin
can't think of
or
any.
not?
Yeah, yep.
So
Those are the other characters that we got.
yeah, like that, like you're showing it right now.
Yeah. So sometimes you're spinning, sometimes you're not. It's like
Yes.
to make sure that
Normally,
it feels good,
with the
right?
club, it's when we spin because we have a lot of strength, a lot of energy going on, and then with the spear, it's just we go for the range.
All right.
One of the big challenges I find we had for the openers and finishers was to everything chained together. So we had to really make sure that every blend was like perfect for that.
Yeah, the flow of the character was really important because we only had.
I didn't know
about
that people were gonna be
between the
I'm gonna be doing the usual thing when it comes to a brand new hero of Wanda. They're gonna be saying that the brand new hero is like
possibilities. It was
too strong, and after that, you know,
we wanted the
they're gonna
player
go
to
ahead and
have
nerf
that
him.
feeling that he's.
you know that's been the norm every
That's
single
cool,
time.
because one of the things that
Yeah, I mean,
like
they do not. I know a lot of the For Honor players do not want like a pirate situation of what happened to her, where she was too strong.
Essentially,
So hopefully we don't get
what we're
that.
talking about here is that
Medjai wasn't bad.
we're
You know, he was
designing
good.
this hero to have,
You know, a lot of people said that he was kind of
almost
like.
a blender-like quality, right? We want
you know,
to,
he
when you-
needed,
when
like,
you're
some other
facing
stuff, too.
an Ocelotl that
And the Afila was
scared.
decent.
And to have that sort of pressure and to make sure that you really felt that pressure, we made sure that the chain link timings were as short as possible. So often enough, when if you do a light into a heavy, you see it goes very, very, very fast into the next attack. You can delay them a little bit, of course, right, if you want, but you don't have to. And if you go really, really quick, you get that sense of pressure, of that constant aggression, and really feeling like you're in a blender, right? That's kind of what we're going for. So that's super, super interesting. But it does. That's like you were mentioning. It creates a lot of challenges in terms of, well, how do we make this look good? How do we make this feel good? But that's a definite big challenge. That's really cool. I'm happy you guys really pulled it off because it's a big thing. So that's great.
And I also think it's cool, like when you look back and you.
Also, I'm wondering what his
narrative
gimmick is going to
aspects
be.
of it that Ian and Raph.
Because I know when it comes to a
bit,
brand new
with
hero that
this,
comes out, they always
character
have
and
like a
story
different
that
gimmick
was
to them.
built for him. It really was like you made a very angry boy, right?
Like when the
it's
pirate came
very
out, she had
angry,
like
so you feel that a
a.
lot in
Of course, she had her like her flintlock pistol, which was kind of like a bash. And then we got, of course, Medjai that has he had his two stances. And then we got the Afila, which is basically kind of like a.
Yeah.
And
like
our
a,
job is to translate emotions into motion.
Ah,
Yeah,
amazing.
she had like
Yeah.
a quick dash
I like that.
with the shield.
Tagline.
We had in our minds.
So I'm wondering what the Ocelot's gimmick is going to be.
Like Amelie, of course.
Because I know a lot of people want him to have kind of like a
we tried to
bleed-like
focus on that in order to make
ability
it
or
strong.
something, kind of
We
like what Shaman
anticipation to
has
build that
when like
energy,
she has like
quick
bleed attacks.
releases, and then during
So
the
far, I haven't
recovery,
seen anything
like,
that's to do with
he gets
bleed.
again into balance.
But they might show it later.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, really, really cool stuff. Awesome. So,
All right, so let's keep going a little bit into the hero's like basic kit, right? So, like I was saying, every single light, like the neutral lights for 500 ms, like we normally have, chain lights are all 400 ms. They tag people when you dodge after you do a heavy or a bash or whatever. So, again, a lot of pressure there. Light finishers are 400 as well. So if I go light into light, that's 400.
Oh.
I don't think anybody can react to these things.
I'm starting to get hungry.
That's what's
I'm gonna go ahead and eat my food now.
That's the thing.
we can. Sure.
Because we still got what, like an hour left?
Are 700 ms, really, really fast with really quick chain link timings. Again,
It's time for me to eat
pressure.
my
Heavy finishers are unblockable.
pollo
Every
quesadilla,
single stance, big
frijoles.
swings there.
Yeah,
really
those.
like a lot of
Ooh.
like effort into like
Guys,
the camera
can you see
angles and the
Yeah.
Dude.
so that's-
They
How
are my
good is
favorite
it?
attacks.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites as well.
yeah, they look really, really cool, right?
Made it so it was very, very heavy.
Look how
on all
good
fronts.
this is.
Yeah, they really
Look at
do
this.
feel heavy, even though they're quick. You do
Yeah.
feel that a lot of the heaviness.
good.
So it's really, really good. And then we have zone attacks, which are always armored. The opener one, like it gains armor a little bit later. But when you go into chains, you get armor at first frame. They're a bit slower, but the idea there is like you're in a group fight, whatever, you typically want to use your zone attacks. So making them armor makes you harder to peel. That goes well. Heavy zone finishers as well. Like they switch sides too, so you're not super predictable. Again, you can use your armor to trade against dodge attacks against certain things, so that's great. And then we have bashes, right? So we also have.
Oh, so the hero has bashes.
Bash, so from dodge into bash, we go into this.
Nice.
One of the things that we'll see as we go towards this is that every single bash this hero has deals direct damage.
Okay.
Never has confirmed damage afterwards, although getting a 400 MS light afterwards is almost guaranteed. There's still ways to get out of it.
Yeah.
So the neutral bash, pretty simple, for 500 MS bash, alpha front dodge, so that works quite well. And we have the chain version that I'm going to go into here, which is slower, deals direct damage, but is feintable, right? We've been doing a lot of feintable bashes. Especially in this hero, it's super scary. We've had some players that tested it out a little bit with us, and they're like, "Yeah, this is really, really cool." Well, and last but not least, we have the bash finisher, which is 500 MS, deals quite a bit of damage. You have to make a read because you cannot dodge after this if I throw a light. So it's a lot again, like a lot of that pressure and that build up there into going to what am I going to do? What's my opponent going to do? What is the Ocelotl going to do against me? And it's super scary. And with those
Ocelotl.
bashes too, like we have.
You
like,
keep on saying
unique
Ocelotl.
animations here, which is
It's
different.
Ocelotl.
This one, where you do a big pummel strike. The finisher has the kind of crust cut there. So
No,
what kind of inspiration you guys take for these type of things?
Oh, at first all the bashes were pummel strikes. I believe the opener was the right side, and then for the in chain we had the pummel strike from the spear. At a certain point, we're like, these are all pummel strikes. So JC had the great idea of making the scissor move, which I found really great. And it's a really vicious move. You kind of feel like Daniel was saying, the rage of the character through that move. Fantastic.
Yeah, super cool. Yeah. So all right. So outside of this, we have dodge attacks. They're all on lights. They don't have massive trajectories. Again, we have to have like sometimes some downsides to the hero, but also like it feels really natural to have quick dodge attacks with this. Front dodge light as well there. There's a little jump here in a bit of distance. So that's pretty cool. Works quite well. But there's one more little thing I think that we haven't done.
Oh yes,
Right?
That's very.
Oh,
That's quite different with
here
this
it comes.
hero. So
The gimmick.
one of the things that we really wanted to feel, because we have all of this, right? We have the feat set that we're also going to talk after afterwards. But one of the core aspects is the hunting, the stalking, right? And so
Oh, here
as
comes the
we
bleeding
were
thing that I was talking
developing the
about.
hero more and more and more, we're like,
Because I
we
remember
kinda missed
people
that
wanted to
aspect of
see if he was going to have
so
like
we
a
ended
bleed
up
attack or
creating
something.
a new kind of stalker stance, prowl stance. You access it by holding down on the right stick, and you go into this, right? So when you are in this stance, there's a couple of things. First of all, you can't block. So it's really not meant to be like something defensive, even though like it's not super visible, but when you go into it, you get you do get a little bit of dodge range. Kind of like with Nobushi, it's the same timings as Nobushi, so you can dodge attacks with it.
Yeah.
So it works quite well. And then the other thing that's interesting here is that you actually walk faster when you are in this stance than when you're not. So an example, if I'm strafing to the right here, you see like the speed I'm going at. But when I'm in that prowl stance, I'm going much faster. Faster front, faster back, faster everything. So the idea here is that...
So it's kind of like the Highlander stance.
To kind of like be, you know...
Even though the Highlander, when he moves like really slow.
Prey, what am I going to do? And you get there. So when you are
both
in
of his
this
stances,
stance,
his offense
you
and
have
his defense.
one single attack that you can perform with the heavy button, which is this. So when you perform it, you jump forward, leap by quite a bit, and if your attack connects, or you can move from really far, you get into a bit of a pin. The club gets embedded in the opponent, slice it off. So really, really good. This acts as a heavy, so you can do your heavy chains afterwards. It's a heavy opener, like what we have as heavy openers, and it's super effective. It's not the best tool in 1v1. I can warn people right away. It's not meant to be used as a 1v1 tool, but it's excellent at peeling. Right. So if you're again far in a group fight, you might be off screen. People don't really see you too much. You get into it, and then you see an opening. Boom! You go, you strike. Works super well. It's not feintable or anything, but it's really, so you have to commit to it, but it feels really good.
This happened a lot in tests too, just so people know. We were like testing it out. You'd be just playing a Dominion game, then suddenly this just Ocelotl comes flying in from off screen. You're like, okay,
yeah, right. But what's also cool here is that this requires a lot of work from animation. So you want to walk us through a little bit, like what goes into making that sort of stance there?
I kind of think that launch right there, I think it would have caused a bleed.
You can say that. And he's not static in that stance. So, which means we have to go to mocap and record a whole navigation like that.
Yeah.
The mocap actors did an amazing
It's kind of like a giant
job.
leap like a giant leap attack is what it does.
Like they did amazing.
Yeah.
And back and legs, I would say.
Yeah.
So
he's gonna be feeling it for sure.
Yeah.
So that hints that
stance
just only does like a...
And the Tuesday, the guys
like
came
one
back
move.
and they, like you saw they were hurting. It was obvious. They're very, very professionally trained, like stuntmen. They're amazing. Really, really good people. They're doing an amazing job. It's still very, very it's hard.
An amazing job there.
Was it tough to go and convince the mocap actors? Like, hey, so we just kind of need you to crouch for the next 2 hours.
Tell us a bit more.
Just walk everywhere.
Can we repeat this, please?
You want to get crouch better,
We can always modify it like with our software, but it takes longer. So when we have like really good data, it's everything. We can put everything together like way faster.
Nice.
Yeah.
And for the attack, I would say that the challenge here as an animator, we always exaggerate poses, and it was the range that he's covering there. So the challenge was to keep it not cartoony, right?
Yeah.
To give the level of
at least the attack has good range though,
and as much as it fits the For Honor universe.
Yeah. And so one thing that people that you haven't been at mocap, it's kind of interesting to kind of talk about. Whenever we actually do mocap, when we do navigation, we call navigation when you're moving around. Like we're asking the actors or stuntmen to really go and they have to walk, run in different directions, do figure eights, all sorts of stuff, so we can get like every single movement, how the legs are placed, how that stuff works. So it's a lot of work, it's a lot of stuff, but it ends up looking amazing. So I think we're hyped.
Yeah, you absolutely see it in the final results. The end product here is like incredible.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. So we've looked at this. Let's look at executions right now. Right.
Oh, executions. Oh.
Spin attack. Well, I did a spin attack before. I'm going to do it again.
Go ahead.
Do it again.
I'll be good. What?
That's pretty cool. I can do it, and then again.
I'll put my food down and see what the executions look like.
Go back to the finish if I want. So all good stuff there.
Are we going to be seeing somebody's heart whipped out?
Yeah.
Because I know that's what a lot of people want to see.
Man,
Everybody in the forum community wants to see him whip somebody's heart out.
Jimmy, if you want to remove your infinite health.
Yes.
Or something that has to do with sacrificial shit.
I don't.
And arena settings, yeah. You went to the first one.
Uh-oh.
Here.
No.
I can help.
Technical difficulties.
This.
No.
You want to do it?
Yeah, I think quick settings and you go there.
Yep. There you go.
All right. Okay. So we're gonna look at executions, right? So I'm gonna
It really just demonstrates the blender. Okay.
Yeah.
So execution number 1. For the club.
Oh!
Yeah.
So good.
Get them off.
Nice.
Pretty brutal. Looks pretty cool. Respawn. Okay.
So that's the
let's
first
do
one.
this
That wasn't bad.
again. We're gonna go through all 4 of them. So
Just never stop pressing buttons. That's
Oh!
oh, right in the knee.
again, like this one, I love.
Oh!
Special.
Right. So clearly, right now we're.
Damn, dude, that's something out of
show
Mortal
the-
Kombat 11 when
It's quite
no,
bloody.
You see it again.
Mortal Kombat
Yeah,
X
it's
when
quite bloody.
Kotal Khan would basically just like saw you on like a saw.
So a bit faster.
Well, quick and easy, not
Works
bad.
quite well. And then.
Oh,
Finally,
dude, I'm still. Oh,
Last but
this
not
is gonna be the last one. Is this gonna be when they whip his heart out?
Alright. There we go. So that's the 4th execution here.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Fall right on this screen, right?
That's my personal
So
favorite.
that's what we did at mocap, right? We had one guy jump like that and fall into the spear and
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Nothing
real.
to
we laughed.
Oh, they're not gonna do it. Damn.
He got the
shot,
shit.
right? So
He
that's
got
good.
Damn, dude, I was getting hyped up to see if they're like, oh, they're not gonna do
So
it.
let's
Damn.
prep quickly to go into
Wow.
showing what the feats are, because that's quite unique.
It's nuts, and you know that's again, it's incredible. I gotta say, just to
Damn, dude, I have a feeling a lot of
This was a big team
people
effort
are a little
to
bit
get all
disappointed that
this
they didn't get to
animation work
see,
in. I know, you know,
somebody's
you
heart
were,
get
like,
ripped
the
out.
lead animators on this, but we also had other
Maybe
animators
they,
working on this, so just big shout out
who
to
knows, they
everybody,
might
who
come
really
out
worked
with
hard on the
that.
animations, the audio.
Ah.
It's just so good. Like the work was incredible.
No, because I think a lot of people are gonna be sour on that they didn't get an
GD side,
execution like
animation
that.
side, sound, everything.
Yeah.
Again, later,
Yeah, like,
I know that I'm gonna hear complaints
we'll-
that people are
we'll
gonna be
see
saying,
through the
dude, they
feats
should have
when,
come
like,
with
when we go
this
through them, right? But the first
from the
game in
beginning.
particular
Why are we
was
getting this
a
later?
Massive joint effort from
Damn, I
VFX,
thought we were gonna go ahead and see like,
code,
you know,
game design, everything.
or maybe they
It's
might
a
do
lot
that
of stuff,
with like an event
complicated
execution. Maybe I
to
don't know.
But I think the
I don't
results
know.
speak for themselves.
Yeah,
Damn.
we're gonna see it.
Big shout outs here, like also to the game.
I have a
team,
feeling people are gonna be a little bit like,
with
aw.
Noel and
The
Carl,
hell?
they're,
Why
like,
didn't he
two
whip his
amazing
heart
game
out?
Designers, they worked super hard on the
But
game.
either way,
Like, it's
the
always a
first
team
one
effort,
wasn't
right?
bad.
We always
The
work
second
all
one was like,
together,
god dang.
that they were in charge of the hero,
the
like, in making sure
White,
that
the
was
spear in the knee
I
at the
can't
saw in their
make
neck.
always a big
really
Noel Castro.
Then we had the
Do a
other
hard
one
one
that
with
basically
that.
is like a quick one, just right in the neck, boom.
It's good.
And then the other one
Alright,
flips the
okay,
person
so,
up
we
and
can switch
oh,
to-
and
okay,
parry the
so
spear right in the back. That was a
this is
brutal
what's
one
going
too.
So as you see, 4 feats.
But
First
that
feat,
other
massive,
one, that the
the
second
last
execution,
one, active.
Jesus.
So we'll go for the first
That
one.
was a
because I think
brutal
it's the crazier one, right? So, Jimmy, if you wouldn't
Okay,
mind.
so we get to see his feet.
By the way, Chad, if you're not sitting down, now's a good time. Sit down. If you're in a car, buckle up. If you can just find a seatbelt anywhere, just give it.
Well, I'm sitting down and I'm eating my quesadilla, and I'm not driving.
Okay, so not, oh no, I died. Happening.
Oh no.
Oops.
Oh,
I
man.
rolled.
Whoa!
So this is what the first feat does, right? So whenever you die, and you're not executed, or you don't die from like traps or get ledged or whatever,
Yeah.
you get back up in spirit form. You can run around the map, go anywhere you want, and respawn wherever you'd like, as long as you're not too close to enemies or allies, or in ladders. You can run
Dude,
around and go
what
up
the-
ladders if you'd like. You just go here, right? You go up a ladder.
You're fast.
So that's what we
You're also
saw in
faster,
the
yeah.
in the
You're
trailer.
actually running faster, so there's a bit of animation there. I can go here. Oh, okay. It looks good here. Respawn here. Right? Back capping. Super crazy. Super dangerous.
What the heck did I just see?
Stuff. So
What the hell?
the first feat.
Oh
really
my
is
god, dude, that's
about repositioning.
wow! I was not
again, just
expecting
to make sure
that.
there's a couple of more things to talk about, but essentially it's around the concept of life. and
Dude,
death,
that is-
especially for these warriors, is whenever you end up perishing and dying, you get back up.
I
and
I
you can
I have no
position
idea what to
yourself,
say.
so you can
Holy
again if you
shit,
like.
dude!
I've never had video
I
games.
love-
Just if you want.
If
So
want,
when you
no,
die,
yeah.
it looks like you
So,
spawn from
the other thing
anywhere.
that's important to
And that's the
see here is
first
that the
feat,
feat always
too?
activates. There is no cooldown to it. So
Wow.
every time you die on the battlefield and you're not executed, like I said again.
Oh my god, what?
this
There's
always
another
happens.
game that does that. When you
get
die,
back
then your
up,
spirit has to
up
go a
and
while,
it
and you have to go ahead and.
slowly goes back.
Oh,
Yeah,
what was
you
that
can
other
see it
game?
generating
slowly over time. So
Oh, it was that freaking game that people said that was like the For Honor killer. What was it?
We had versions where you were at full health.
Hood Outlaws and Legends. Yeah, there was
remember those days.
There was a point in the game when your character died, your character would actually go around in spirit form. This is what it looks like. But you actually didn't have to respawn because your teammates had to go ahead and respawn you. Then they had to take your they had to basically respawn you from somewhere else, and then you can come back to life.
The other important thing here is that you see there's like respawn in how many seconds. You have a minute to choose to respawn.
Jesus Christ, dude, this is crazy.
You can't respawn here. If the timer expires,
I am wondering what everybody's reaction to this.
So you really have to like, kind of respawn wherever you like there. And it's super good, so, right? So if whenever you get killed or whatever, you can go, you can back cap, you can look at the battlefield, see what's going on. Maybe spawn, you see a group fight, like, okay, I'm gonna go help my ally. You go respawn a little bit out of it, go into this, help out your opponent, help out your ally rather. So it's pretty cool, right? There's a lot of good stuff there that works.
Yeah. I think it's also important to mention.
I'm still shocked
after
that first feat. Jesus,
here, and you get the
how did
cool
get Tinsley
as you're running around in that form. Your opponents cannot.
Hey, I'm surprised I didn't have food in my mouth. I was spit it out. I was like, what the hell did I just?
Please kill me. Fun fact,
brutal stream today, guys.
Fun fact about this feat: we had a lot of realization ideas for the feat 1 revive animations. They turned out to be way too long, so it was very ethereal. The actors were moving around, being revived, but for the sake of gameplay, we had to cut a lot of those animations out.
So, yeah. So right now, Jimmy's somewhere. I have no idea where he is.
He's somewhere.
He's somewhere. I don't know where he is. Like, he might respawn in my face. He might respawn at my home point. He might respawn at my opponent's point. I have no idea. I do not know where he's going to respawn. And then I'm like, where is he? Where is he?
He's scared.
Oh no, he's there. He's capping. Right. So that's kind of like a big part of this feat that's super interesting there.
Oh man.
It's
dude, I have no idea how that's going to be in gameplay.
You've never even tried to mess with this.
Yeah.
I know.
I know it. I think people are gonna be saying, "Wow, this is OP."
We're gonna start to look at doing stuff when and moving around when you're dead and see how that goes. They didn't like us, but in the end they did an amazing job.
Yeah,
everybody worked together, so it was great. Okay, so let's go to the other two feats because we don't have infinite time here. So the second feat is kind of like Aztec Killer Deterrent. Right, so
I like it. I
like to put it right.
I think we should change the name.
Right? Yeah. So what it does is when you actually kill an Ocelotl here, so you see on top of my head, I have a little marker, and I also have a buff and a debuff. The buff is for the third feat, but the debuff is on me. So essentially, when you kill an Ocelotl, you get revealed on the map, and you get a defense debuff for I think it's 15 seconds. So it's not really necessarily like a buff for your opponent that they're going to be able to see you, the one you killed specifically, but it's also to kind of like deter people from focusing on this hero too much. Right. Because if you end up killing Ocelotl in a group fight, you're probably going to die afterwards. Right? You get a significant defense debuff. You got to be scared a little bit.
So that feat only works if you kill another Ocelotl.
Again, the feats play with life and death. And what happens
now I'm starting to say what the freaking the developers are saying. They keep on saying Ocelotl, but it's actually Ocelotl.
When I kill any hero, right here, so third feat activates. So the third feat is whenever you kill an enemy, execution, whatever, you gain a speed increase and an attack buff. So again, it's like really, really strong. You get into a group fight, you kill somebody, it's going to be easier to kill other people in that group fight.
Nice.
So again, with that life and death stuff, you manage to kill your prey, you get pumped up, you go, yeah, all right, cool, I'm going to be able to do more stuff, and you kill more people. So that's really, really good. Again, short cooldowns on those, they're passive. They pretty much trigger every single time you either die or you kill somebody. So that works really, really well.
Nice.
And then last but not least is feat 4. So for feat 4, we're
bow and
a
arrow.
little bit different here. Vanessa,
or he's going to throw the spear, maybe, I don't know.
Hero, the legendary Vanessa.
The
really wanted to go, you know what, we have like this.
So I see a spear there and a bleed. And so at least he gets kind of like a bleed damage.
So what do we do here? We throw the spear, get your ball back to you, and then you get into a guard break. So Jimmy's gonna perish, unfortunately, but it's
dude.
Due to the other fact of that.
What happens is when you throw that spear?
I almost spit my food out.
We're on like super fast feet, so don't worry about it. This is not the action.
It's okay, chat. It's okay.
Okay, right?
Dude, he freaking just did freaking scorpions. Get over here, spear.
Wow.
Wow.
Damage. Pull on opponent.
Dude.
And then you get into a guard break position, which means you can throw somebody, or you get another free heavy afterwards. But when I say throw somebody, you know, you can kind of. Oh no, there's a ledge here. What's
where can you throw somebody?
You're gonna see where the.
Don't tell me this thing ledges people. Oh my god. Dude.
Before I throw anything. So let's do this. And then. Oops, there's a ledge. Oops.
Oh, so yep.
We missed
it.
it.
So it's basically.
Not every single time, but it works. So you have to be careful. You have to be really close to the ledges.
Sorry, I had a freaking food stuck in my mouth.
So
So basically, it's kind of like what Shinobi had before. Anybody remember when Shinobi used to have the long range attacks, and he would basically pull you in, and it would get guard break. That's kind of like the same thing. I know some people are gonna be saying, "Oh man, he did like the Scorpion, get over here move." No, that right there was something that Shinobi did before Shinobi got reworked.
Get a heavy off of them as well.
And now they gave that to the Ocelotl.
It's a very, very good fight.
As a
was that
feat
tough
now.
to do for y'all, like kind of like you forcing them and dragging and like.
Right. Well,
was that a little tough?
that feat wasn't an easy feat.
Right, yeah.
So we had a precedent before with other characters to do sort of a grappling thing. So
I
we
know
based
some
ourselves
people.
on that
Oh man,
for this feat. And we
dude,
used
I know there's
we
gonna be
used a
some
similar
people
system
that
with
will
the
say,
graphs
"Oh
where,
no,
had
we gotta get the freaking
first
long
animation
range thing of
for,
that." But
the grappling itself.
the thing
and
is,
then we did
it's
a
actually it's actually a
for the
feat. It's
target
not actually
to
part of his
reach the
moveset because, dude,
once
if
that
that
loop
was
is
part
done,
of his
also
moveset,
needed
I know a
another
lot
boost
of
for
people are gonna be like,
drawback.
"Oh no, it's
And
like
that would
Shinobi
bring
all
us
over
to the
again."
guard break, which was.
But at least it's his
by the end
fourth
of this.
feat though.
There you go.
Sorry.
Oh man, look at that, dude! It's
So
recharging
all these
fast.
systems work together to
It's
make
more the
this
technical
feat.
side, I would say.
Yeah, this is a pretty technical side of it. Animation-wise, it was a relatively simple.
Jesus
It was more the
Christ,
technical
dude!
side that was a challenge.
Yeah, because we have to like sync with VFX as well, have the rope, all
right.
that sort of stuff.
Exactly.
All that.
Dude, I have no idea what other people's reaction are gonna be like. What
Yeah,
the
at
heck
end
did
of the day,
he?
you can describe
What the heck did he
everything,
just
get
do?
over
He
here,
did the
like,
freaking scorpion
do
thing.
something you want.
Yeah, get it.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, so I think
Wow.
that's pretty much it for this hero's moveset and feats.
Oh boy, that's a lot.
It's a lot.
That's a lot.
I
for
am
the
wondering
Ocelotl.
if anybody
It's a
else's
lot,
reaction is
lot.
going to be that close.
Yeah, and I think just to kind of summarize there, if I can, sum up my key takeaways of don't.
I
kill
think the one that that
don't
really
get killed
actually
by
surprised
one.
me
Like,
was
see
the
one just
one when
run
you die.
because, they're coming
And you
for
go
you.
into spirit
the
form and you
Ocelots
basically
are
just
coming
walk
for
around.
you
You can
and
spawn
they
wherever
will-
you
they
want.
will
That right there.
kill you. So
Yeah.
it's good. They're terrifying.
That right there
They're
surprised me.
terrifying hero. Noel, you made it a terrifying hero.
Dude, they're just going crazy with the feats now, right?
They're so much fun to play. Oh
Oh my god, dude.
So yeah, so I mean, like honestly, big props to.
Now I'm
everybody
wondering what they're
involved.
gonna be doing with the Viking.
Especially the first.
With the
feat,
new
we've got
Viking
a
hero.
lot of people from a lot of
work.
disciplines.
Yeah, a lot of work.
Oh, no,
It's
dude.
a lot more work than we typically do for a feat, especially.
They're just going all
but
in when it comes
kudos
to the
everybody,
feats,
like
dude,
the
Jesus.
GPP team,
Uh,
like our programmers.
Yep.
Dude,
Yep.
imagine if that was part of his
Animation team,
moveset.
VFX team, art team.
He's fighting, then all of a sudden he
everything.
turns invisible into
the
spirit
Zap
form, and then he comes back.
In the end, the result is completely
No, they
amazing.
wouldn't do that. That'll be
Super excited.
now
about
that
it.
right there, the
Uh,
game will be
really
broken,
good.
and a lot of
thanks to
people are
you
gonna be
guys,
complaining about that.
You did
Thank you.
an amazing job on the animations and stuff. Like it's spectacular. They look great.
He will basically
Like, one of the
be,
things I like I really like
He will basically be kind of like
that top
Reptile
finisher
from Mortal Kombat.
looks so cool.
He fights,
Yeah.
then he turns
The way they all
invisible,
use-
then
all
he
use-
fights, and you can't tell where he's at.
There's a
I'll
lot of
share the
really-
credit.
At least it's a
We'll share
feat,
it.
So there's a
though.
lot of really cool looking stuff there. So
Yeah.
like really amazing job. And so I don't know if you guys have any closing thoughts for the animation.
It's good that you don't
Thank you
fight.
to my team for
when
all the
you're
feedback. That's why we came up with this.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Support we got from
nothing
the animation team and the
Vanessa
TV side
Amelie
too.
also.
Vanessa, Amélie.
else. You're the best.
I know some people are gonna be
Yeah.
saying that, oh
All right,
god,
well, thank you all
this
so
is gonna be
much,
OP.
Ben,
But
for-
no, I
for
think
the
they're gonna
feedback
go
and
ahead and
sharing
patch
with
it
us
up.
The process and all that, and going over the game.
You know they're gonna
JC
patch it
for
up,
the
but
really
question is when
extended
they're
deep
gonna-
dive into this.
yeah.
I hope that was super cool for all
Yeah,
of you
wait
at
and see,
home.
dude.
So we, what do we got? July 27th, so next week. Just as a reminder, if you want to play all of this awesome stuff for yourself,
That's
next
crazy.
week, all right, the Ocelotl
That's
will be
freaking crazy, dude.
releasing live. You'll be able to
Oh
pick it
my
up
God.
for the real cold hard cash, but 2 weeks afterwards, available for Steal as well. So keep an eye out for next week. So thank you all again. Coming up next, we've got some patch notes to go over as well. So which you can stick around with me. But oh, you got the sunglasses on. Dan and the cooler Dan are ready to head out for
Just
the day.
dance.
So cool. Thanks everybody again. So don't go anywhere. Stick around. We'll talk patch notes next. All right.
Dude, that right there was crazy. Man, dude, the two things that freaking shocked me about the brand new hero was his 2 feats. You die, and then you start in, then you turn to a spirit, and you walk around, and you can revive from anywhere. And then the other one is when you did the of course, you know, Shinobi's old move, like the pull and grab, and you do like a guard break. Oh man, dude, that's crazy. Now about his gimmick that he had, I was expecting a lot more. I kind of, yeah. I'm surprised that he doesn't have any like anything that has to do with bleed. Because it would make sense for him, because he is, of course, an Aztec warrior, and, you know, of course, the whole thing has to deal with sacrificial shit. So you would think he would have kind of like bleed attacks, because that's what a lot of people were expecting, that he would have kind of like bleed attacks, and he would start doing like some, you know, crazy shit, kind of like the shaman with a shot in. When the shaman applies bleed to you, he basically just jumps on you and basically just bites you in the neck. So I think a lot of people were expecting that. Like some bleed attacks from the Ocelotl. Nothing. But hey, the 2 feats that he has, Jesus. Especially that first one. Wow. That's crazy. Damn, dude, I have no idea how that's gonna be when it comes to the in-game stuff. I know some people are gonna be saying, "Oh god, dude, this is so freaking broken," but the developers are gonna go ahead and patch that up for you. I don't know when, but yeah. As long as you give you feedback, they're gonna go ahead and listen. Even though the funniest thing is, once you give the feedback, the developers listen, but there's some other people that give feedbacks, and there's too many feedback for some people because everybody's like divided. You know, when it comes to, you know, some balances and all that stuff. That's why you see a bunch of patch notes and balancing when it comes to the Warriors thing, because one person's saying one thing, and the other person's saying the other thing. Like everybody is saying one thing and another, and you can't please everyone, because if you please, because I don't know, man, it's just freaking hectic.
Welcome.